Hello everyone, I'm Danielle from Cageless Readings. So today's pick a card reading, I'm going to leave it pretty open. I'm just asking the question, how can you support your loved one with an illness or disability? And I'm actually only going to have these 3 piles to choose from, but I had these decks out because I'm going to pull a card from each one and put it in each one of the piles, just so, you all know what to expect. So pile 1 is going to be this fairy deck. I think it's Healing with the Fairies. Something like that. Pile 2 is this Archangel Raphael deck. And pile 3 is actually Energy and Spirit Oracle deck. So I'm not too sure how this is gonna go. I have one architect deck. I don't. My language is getting all funny. One archetype deck. I have a healing deck, and I have Whispers of Love deck, and I have a surrender deck. So I'm really not too sure the format this is going to go down in. I'm just sort of hoping I'll pull the cards and the guides will tell me what to do from there. I also felt like it was appropriate to do this, how to support a loved one with an illness card reading, as I'm still sick. So, I figured it'd go better with the theme right now. All right, so I'm just gonna stop rambling and give you guys time to ground yourselves and choose your piles. Hello, pile 1. So you all chose the fairy deck. I am just going to pull some cards and then I will flip back to the shot. So you don't have to watch me pull cards for like 3 minutes. Okay, let's see what you all got here. Okay, so we have environmental awareness, creative expression, honor your true feelings, quiet time. Rest and relaxation is essential. Love makes the difference. And we have, I release through the crown chakra, surrendering gracefully into expansive spiritual freedom, ready to embrace the new grace. It is funny, I was just thinking how there's a lot of purple. And then we have the 1 and the heart. Okay. Okay, pile 1. So a very big theme here, I believe, for how you can support your loved one with an illness or a disability is coming through through love. And then if you didn't notice, there's a lot here about them actually just getting rest and sleep and taking it easy. So I wasn't sure if I would get a specific relationship dynamic that you would be in with this person, or if I would get a specific illness. But at this moment in time, I'm not getting that. I'm just getting honestly like things you can do or how they want to be treated. So when I first pulled the archetype cards, I thought it was going to be talking about the energy they were in, but instead the energy I'm getting from these is the energy that you could be in to best support them. So you might already be in this energy. So if you are like, that sounds like what I'm doing, then this is just a confirmation that you're doing what essentially their soul would like from you. So both are talking about love and being in a heart-centered space. Like Here it says literally the heart. And I think a big thing with this person that's ill, so whether it's a parent, a friend, a significant other, or a child, is that this person isn't either able to or hasn't been living in a heart-centered place. And I get that they might be really weak right now, whatever this person is going through. I just feel like an overall sensation, of lack of energy, lack of even, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not quite inspiration. Maybe it's motive to be very energetic and in their heart center because of the way they're feeling right now. So how I get, the advice I get for you is, here's a little specific one. So if some of you have a pet, and this person loves pets, is to have that pet around. That is specific. So maybe someone has a dog or a cat and this loved one just loves them. They're saying like that's a great way to bring some joy and some more love into this loved one's life. The other thing as well is just you being, you. You living your life, you doing the experiences that are true to you, that your heart desires. That also helps them. Like, it's like, I almost get the impression is that they can't live out the life they want to be living right now because of this. Like, it could be a terminal illness, or it could just be, say that they're getting like chemotherapy or something, but it's just, that's like the best way you can kind of word the energy. It's like so exhausted and low that it's just so hard to even like have a desire to want to do the things that most of us would want to do. And it could be hard for you as the bystander to understand that it's not just lack of motivation. This person's actually on like a soul energy level is very, very low. They're very, very tired. So it's so funny. It's kind of like saying you wouldn't think that you living your life and living true to you would be a benefit to this person, but it's almost like them knowing that your heart is like, you're living your life by your heart center is like something they like to see. They know someone's doing it in the world. They know that you aren't feeling the way they are. And maybe on a unconscious level that maybe they don't realize that they enjoy that, but I feel like on a soul level, it makes them very happy. And then the other advice card specific for you on how you can treat them. This one card, I actually really get that they don't want to be treated all the time like someone who's ill or someone who's weak or someone who's incapable. And don't get me wrong, there's some things like obviously that they can't do right now, just like feeling in on their energy level of being pretty low. But like, I almost feel like they don't want to be so identified as the sick or ill person. They don't like that. It makes it worse when someone you love sees you only for the illness and not who you are. So this one could be challenging for you, but they are like, if you could see past their illness or their state they're in and not even identify them with that illness, that would be really powerful for this person. It's almost like freeing them from the identity that everyone else is putting on them. And I mean, it could be true, obviously, but it's almost like if people are always saying you're sick, you're sick, you're sick, it doesn't make you feel any better. It just makes you feel sicker. It's kind of that logic. It's just not putting it in their face or telling them that's what they are. It's kind of a funny thing. I feel like for some of you who are like, but they are sick. And I'm like, yeah, but they just don't want to be told that all the time. They're tired. They know that. They don't want to hear it again. So, and also it could even be like they might say that a lot about themselves. And I think it would just be helpful if someone else isn't saying they're sick all the time to them as well. Almost like changing the identity that they're associating with all the time. The other thing they're saying for advice, so obviously, yeah, I think I said it already, rest and relaxation is essential and quiet time. These two are so powerful. There's two cards basically saying the same thing. I don't know if it's possible for this pile, but say I just get there's such different health states for the people watching this. For some people, I like literally get an image of this person asking to like be like pushed out on a wheelchair um and into a garden so that they can like look at the life happening around it and the flowers, and just like that would be like a beautiful quiet time for them, is sitting in their wheelchair with like a little blanket on their lap. That's very specific. For other people, they're literally just saying like some people like they get a lot of company and a lot of visits, and they love getting visitors and company, but the problem is that they actually just do need to sleep from time to time. So it's great that they have all these support people wanting to come in and like spend time with them. But if that's resonating and you know that this person gets a lot of visitors, they might just need some more time to actually sleep, because they're saying like it is essential. The fundamental need right now is for them to just get as much sleep as possible. And sometimes we don't like that as being the loved ones, because we want to talk to them, we want to spend as much time as we can with them. But they're really just saying they need sleep. Although they do like the company. And then here it even says, love makes the difference. Love helps heal past hurts, provides a sense of security and self-worth. And I actually think this is why it's kind of a battle, because I think if they do have someone coming in to visit them a lot, like this loved one thrives on being loved and supported and just feeling loved and held by others. I mean, even with like this heart card and yeah, the oneness card, I think that really explains a lot there, that they really do just love being loved. That's like the biggest thing you can do right now, is just to hold a space of love for them. Creative expression. So this is interesting. So like I said, I think there's quite a different variety of health things going on for the people inquiring for this pile. Some people, if they have trouble speaking, there's like a little thing going on here where it says to try letting them paint, to like express themselves, so they don't feel like they're just so trapped in their body or so trapped in communication. Painting might not be easy for everyone, but I don't know, it's coming up for somebody for some reason, painting being important. For other ones too, they're just saying pay attention to the music that's being played around this loved one. So it's funny, they're not saying like don't let them listen to certain music, but they're just saying understand that music can be a healing tool, and it can bring calm, it can bring peacefulness, or it can also like bring like lower feelings, lower vibes. Yeah, they're talking about harp music, funny enough. And like I'm gonna say, there's a lot of random specific messages coming out for people. I don't even think they're all applicable to everyone, but like someone's parent might really like harp music. I think what are they trying to say? They're just basically saying like something with the sounds is very healing for that person. It's very angelic, and that like is going to be very comforting for this person who's ill or disabled. And I kind of want to talk about the environmental awareness with the creative expression card, because this is where I was saying, like, I think there's somebody here where the music they're listening to isn't helping them heal, isn't helping them feel better. It just, I can't quite put the word in my mouth for what I'm looking for here, but it almost like feeds like their, I don't want to say self-pity, that's not quite the right word, but like depression, feeling gross. Also, as a little information about the environment, if they're in a hospital or a hospice type situation, you want to pay attention to the energy of that room. So put some flowers in there that are bright colored. Definitely something around bright colors. I think there just needs to be more color in this person's room. I think it could be maybe dark in there. It doesn't quite feel full of life. And that could be better. So that's kind of like a funny thing to say, but I know especially with like hospitals and hospices, things are too white. Things are like sometimes even like that off-white yellow color, and they're just saying make it more vibrant, make it more full of life. You really do feel a difference in that, right? Especially when they're spending so much time in a room or in their house. Yeah, I know it. I think I definitely, from reading like this, I do think this is like more of an older person you're inquiring about. I haven't seen any youthful energy here. I see more like parent energy. Um, and some it could just be some there's like some cancer things going on. Some it's like some stroke, dementia like things. Yeah, because some people are having problems using their mouth, and some people are having problems with using their hands, and some are having problems just with controlling their muscles in general. So like I see like the wheelchair things going on. So I think in a lot of cases this could be a grandparent or parent, or like father-in-laws, mother-in-laws. um yeah, I think. But I mean, like I said, choose it as you will. Trying to ask about more advice here on things you can do, because I feel like this pile would like to know more. But um, it's kind of funny. It's like the basics. I think this is what a lot of this pile was already trying to do. Um, about like just embracing them with love and letting them know that you love them, that you support them, that yeah, that you don't see them differently or as any less valuable, or that's like a big one. Yeah, they keep saying like they don't like being seen as this like illness or this disability, and I think that can make sense, right? Like it's so hard to watch the people we know um struggle physically or not be able to physically do the things they used to do, because it's so much pride, right? And it's hard for us. But I also realized I didn't talk about this honor your true feelings card. Um yeah, like, what I really get off of this is that there's going to be some highs and some lows, and just being there to support them through it, and not trying to like tell them that that feeling isn't valid, or don't worry, it's not a big deal. Like just really holding space. This person really just wants space and love held for them. um and they do talk about like the environment. So yeah, if some of you've been feeling like the environment could use like a little spruce up, I would follow that intuition of yours, because it just feels a little like daunting, like a little like blah in their environment. I hope that makes sense. I just keep seeing like too white of walls, or they're in a room that has like the blinds are always covered and it's always dark in there. And either situation, they're just talking about putting color in there, and then also that painting thing's coming up again. So I don't know, maybe you should ask them if they feel like painting. Finger painting, painting with a paintbrush. I'm not sure. They're just saying like there's something that could be fun and nice about it. Maybe if it's like you're a parent and you have a child, maybe they could paint finger paint with their grandkid or something, and then they could put that painting up in the room. I'm not sure. There's just something going on there for somebody. I can't quite put my finger on it though. And then yeah, the music. I feel like I mean, it's always hard to get people of the older generation to try to do some weird things sometimes, but I would suggest frequency music, like the nine solfeggio music. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. I don't know. I just, for some people here, I think that might really resonate, or harp music, very angelic music. I feel like it's going to be uplifting for the soul and just comforting. And then, yeah, like I was saying, just making sure they do get sleep. I feel like you might even have to force them to sleep a little bit, because they just love the company so much and they love having people around. So maybe even if someone was just there as they fell asleep and like said they'd be back when they woke up. Yeah, they're saying if you sneak away, it might make them sad. So you have to let them know that you're going to come back so that you can sleep or something like that. Yeah, I'm like wishing I could offer this pile more, but I think this is all I have for you. And I honestly think you've been doing a lot of this. So I'm sorry if there was no new information. I do get the sense that you were already doing the things that they kind of said they needed. But yeah, just a little reminder to like keep living your life. Not that they're saying in any way to forget this person, but like they're saying what would bring them joy is to know that you are still living the life that you love and makes your heart spark happy and true, like be true to you. Don't stop living your life to become a complete caretaker. You still have to live the life that they can't right now. That's essentially what their soul is saying, their higher self. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I never really found the place for this, but I just like their cards. I think what they say is very beautiful. So I'll just maybe read it one more time. And it said, I release through the crown chakra, surrendering gracefully into expansive spiritual freedom, ready to embrace new grace. So I almost see like ready to embrace the new way of being, the new identity, and letting go of our perceptions of what it should be and how we should look like and what we thought we would be. Okay. All right. This is all I have for you, Pile One. Best of luck. Yeah, just keep loving them. Keep loving them. That's like the most important thing you can do. Hello, Pile 2. You all chose the Archangel Raphael deck. So I'm just going to pull some cards and then I'll jump back into it so you don't have to watch me pull cards for like 3 minutes. Okay, so let's see what you all got here. Start with these cards. Okay, so we have alternative medicine. We have avoid allergens, meditation, give us your cares, have faith. Ooh, you got a few more than the last pile. And then down here, we're going to have be authentic. We have the Union of Hearts, surrender to spirit, luminous grace and spiritual love awaken and emanate through me in a delectable divine offering of hope and healing for all beings. This is actually a really beautiful card. Super beautiful. Put that, I don't know, there maybe. And then we have the Father and the Vessel, which is interesting because I feel like these are kind of like opposites. Okay, I think that's about the best I can do to get them all in. There we go. Okay, pile 2. So when I see these two cards here, I can kind of see that you have really taken on the responsibility of this person's health or taking care of them. So when I see the Father card, I see that you are really in like the position of having to deal with the formalities, say like getting them places, getting them the right food, getting them the right medication, creating the routine or the plan for them for their day-to-day doctor's appointments. Just like it's saying that you've had to be really in the masculine and you're really like in that responsibility role for this person. I do think that this could be a child of yours, or I think it could be a parent. yeah, or honestly, even a spouse, to be honest, I really do see like it could be any of these things, someone very close to you, and you've really had to almost separate yourself from your emotions so that you can better make sure that you take care of this person and you see all their needs met. We're going to get into that a little bit more on if that is maybe what's good for you to, because we'll get into that in a second, because then the vessel thing comes up here, and it also talks about having like being the container, like literally being the person that's holding the situation together, that's keeping everything in order, everything figured out. And I can't help but notice that you have two cards talking about have faith and surrender to spirit, because I feel like there's a little bit of a need for you to realize that if something goes wrong, if something doesn't work out with this person's health, it is not your fault. It's not your fault. This is not all your responsibility. Although you've taken on that role, this isn't all your fault. Yeah, I feel like I have to keep saying that because I really do see that you've like, I don't want to say abandoned the feminine side or the emotional side. I just don't think that you're in a space where you could hold that energy and be all these things that this loved one is needing you to be, or that you've taken on the role of being for this loved one. I feel like there's a lot of just intense responsibility around you, whoever you are watching this pile. So there is some advice cards here for you. Yeah, so first of all, yeah, let's see, where would they want you to start? I think you already know this, but so alternative medicine. So whatever this loved one of yours is struggling with, I think, and I think you're already probably taking these steps. There's suggestions to go a more alternative medicine path. I do believe it's going to be like a hybrid. I think that you are still having to do some things that traditional Western medicine is calling on. But I think you're taking steps to maybe reduce the drugs or the prescriptions that this loved one would have to need, if by going a more alternative route and kind of finding the more, what's the word I'm looking for, targeting the cause more so than the symptoms. And I think this file's done really good about doing that. And avoiding allergens, I get the suspicion that you are also already trying to figure out that for this loved one. So I do think these are more here for confirmations for you. If you've been wondering, am I taking them down the right path? Am I doing the right things? Having some doubts, I think they're saying yes. Keep following that, especially since there's so much purple in these two cards. They're like, you're following your intuition appropriately on behalf of this loved one, and that you should just keep going that way, because I think you really are doing some good things for their health with that. So yeah, avoiding the allergens. I do think this is food related. I don't think this is environmentally related, but I think that's just the overall energy. And I do think food allergies are shifting. So if all of a sudden they're having a problem with something, I think it's just like their body's figuring things out. They're battling some things. So it might not like anything inflammatory, it might not like nightshades. It might not like some random specific foods that I'm sure you're gonna figure out. Meditation actually is advice for you. I want to really be clear about that. You don't need to make this person meditate. I mean, if they're called to it, of course, that's great. But I think this is actually advice for you, because your guides are way more worried about the stress and the responsibility that you're taking on personally for this loved one and your health too. So I definitely get that they're like, yes, you're very worried about this person. I think it's a child. I think it's someone very close to you. It could be your parent, or it could be that spouse, what they're saying. Like, give us your cares. Let us help you. Let us help guide you to the right people. You're not in on this alone. You don't have to be the only one taking responsibility of the situation. So meditation. Meditation, I think it's going to help clear your mind, clear a bit of that masculine energy so you can feel into the intuitive and what is most intuitively correct for you to do on behalf of this person and for yourself as well. Because like I'm saying, I know you need to be in the masculine right now, but I think making sure that you still take time to do the meditation and connect with that feminine is going to be good for your own health. The other thing I want to point out that I'm just noticing is that I've seen this card so many times, but I've never seen like I would see it as Mother Mary standing out in this card. And I really do see her as like, obviously, like the ultimate powerhouse parent protecting their kids. And I really think that's very close to your energy. So if you've had religious upbringing, I don't mean her in a traditional sense of her having to be in a very traditional role. I think Mother Mary is actually a very powerful woman, and she teaches us to have compassion for ourselves and for others and for the situation. And I think that's even why she's showing up, because I can just see that this pile is so hard on themselves. They're incredibly hard on themselves. And she's here, I think, to help in meditation, to kind of get you to not be so hard on yourself and to give yourself a break. Because I just, honestly, the energy they're showing me is that you're just like, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to go, go, go. Everything you think about is this loved one and how are they doing, if they're doing all right. It's funny when I say, like, if you check their blood sugars or their cholesterol or like whatever it is, you're like right on top of it. Yeah, their pulse rate, you name it, whatever their situation is, you're just like thinking about that all the time. So let's see here. So this says surrender to spirit. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. And then this one over here said, they're kind of written as prayers because of the the era of this oracle card, but it says, Dear Jesus and Archangel Raphael, thank you for boosting my faith so that I may trust in miracles. So both are saying to know that you're not alone. And I even think that meditation card is referencing that you have a lot of guides, you have a lot of ascended masters, and you have a lot of angelic forces working on the health of this loved one for you and with you. And they just are here to remind you that, yeah, they are here as well. Yeah, I think that will be a different card reading. I was trying to feel in if like how this person's health is going to go. But with all like the support of the angelics here, I wonder if this is like an illness that will somehow pass or will get better in its side effects. So like right now you might feel like you can't get control over it. Sorry. I have like a tickle in my throat. That's not going away. But yeah, I can't remember what I was saying. This is the dilemma of when you have a cold and you do card readings is I feel like your crown's a little blocked and it's a little harder to hear. Yeah. Anyways, maybe we'll just move on. Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna read this card again since I have it in my hand. It says, luminous grace and spiritual love awakens and emanates through me in a delectable divine offering of hope and healing for all beings. So that actually even kind of talks on this, like, have faith, surrender spirit. You've got a lot of cards there. So there's so much here about saying, like, you don't need to be the answer. You don't have to be the miracle. Miracles can happen and you don't have to be the cause of them. I feel like you really need to take off this pressure on yourself, because your angels are saying like you're really, really tough on yourself. And I know I've said that a few times, but they're really being adamant about it. You've taken too much responsibility over the end result of this. Okay, and then remember how I was saying would see if spirit like that you were so in the masculine? Then I looked at this card over here and it says be authentic, be real and true to who you are and how you feel. I think this is, it's so funny because I know you came here for advice on how to support them, but they're saying you're already supporting them in every way. You need to support yourself because you already know how to support this loved one. You're doing it to the most extreme amount that you could be doing. So that's why they're detouring it, okay? I don't want you to think that you're not getting any advice and you won't know what to do. You already know what to do. Like they even were saying, like the allergens and alternative medicine is great. All those things you're doing are great. Taking control and being a strong security for them, being strong for this loved one, that is huge. You're doing huge things, but your health is coming up because I think it's not getting as much attention. So yeah, here I think it's saying give yourself space to feel your emotions. If you're feeling overwhelmed, give yourself time to just like cry and like feel overwhelmed about it, or upset or disheartened or mad or whatever it is. Just hold space for yourself just to feel like that. And then same thing if you're feeling excited and happy and playful and goofy. Don't be upset with yourself for being goofy. You don't have to be serious all the time. You aren't the only one who has to be responsible for this loved one. It's okay to laugh a little bit. It's okay to be a little silly. Don't lose who you are in this person's illness. That's a big message. Don't forget who you are because of this loved one's illness. And then the union of hearts, a love connection defies explanation. So I actually think this talks, I know it looks like a very romantic picture, but as soon as I see the words, I'm like, oh, they have the wrong idea for the card. Like this looks like romance. And maybe for some of you there is a romance, but I think it's talking more about this loved one and just like loving them so unconditionally to like the moon and back expression, and just really showing how much you care about them and why you've diverted everything in your life to be so responsible and accountable for them. But like I said, I think some of you it's child, some of you could be spouse, and some of you could be parent. So don't feel like it has to be romantic. It's not in all the cases. In a lot of cases, it just feels like such an encompassing love, like a family love, not necessarily a romantic love. And I think they just really wanted to put it in there because they see how much you love this person and that they are the world to you. And yeah, just everything. Trying to see if there's anything else to convey to you. Oh, there's my cats. Give us your cares. Maybe I'll just read that card as a little finisher. So it says, Dear God and Archangel Raphael, I am willing to release any fears to you. Please allow me to completely go so that you can fully guide me in this situation. So yeah, I'm just going to like add in that during this era of the cards, people did still believe in praying. I don't think praying is as common now. If you like to pray, no harm nor foul, but I think the new way that a lot of spirituality is going is realizing that we can ask for support, but we don't need to like pray for it, in the sense that we're empowered. We are all one, we're all equal. These people, these angels, they're all here to support us because they love us and we love them. And we don't have like a inferiority to them. And I think sometimes the one thing I don't like about these cards is that sometimes the energy is that we're inferior and we have to ask to be blessed with a miracle. But I think I like the words like trust that miracles happen. Trust that if you ask, you will receive them. That's more the energy I like. But yeah, otherwise I think they're great cards. Anyways, like I say, only ever take what resonates and just leave the rest on the YouTube. I think this is all I have. There's so much just about taking care of yourself and honoring yourself. Taking care of your health too, because you're already taking care of this person's health so well. And honestly, I don't think they have any recommendations on what to do, because I think you're doing everything you can for them already. And I guess I should say, I know you're doing everything you can for them already, but they're really wanting you to pay some more attention to yourself and your own health, because you are like a huge foundation. So if you're not doing well, that's not going to be good for anybody, right? So make sure you take care of yourself, okay? You've got this. You've got this. There's so much here saying that all the angelics are like backing you and on your side, and want you to know that you're not the only one responsible here. They're helping you out too. Okay, pile 3, you all chose the Energy and Spirit Oracle deck. So this is how you can support your loved one. We have Higher Self, Sacred Intuition, Travel, Change in Location, Moving On and Letting Go. We have Expansion and Legacy, Family Tree, and Confusion, Many Choices, and Uncertainty. Well, a lot of 4s, hey? 43, 4, 14, 13, 22. Wow, a lot of similar numbers going on here. Okay, and then we also have Practice Compassion, Speak the Language of Love. Loving words have the power of change to change lives, including your own. And then I have the Prayer and the Seed. And then this one here, which says, basically it's a healing activation mandala. So it says, with complete confidence in my sacred fruition, I embrace playfulness, lightness of heart, and an abundance of support from the universe. And they're just really beautiful cards. So I just wanted to throw one in. This one here makes me think of a Celtic symbol. Okay, Celtic knots, sorry. Okay, I will put you there. So, I don't know for certain, but I have suspicion that your loved one is a child. A child of yours, I think. It doesn't have to be, but it feels like you've stepped into a parental role for this person, or you already were in the parental role. So maybe just a caretaker role, or someone who's making a lot of the decisions for this person. And unlike the other piles I felt like it was illness. This I feel like might be disability for this pile. You might have someone who has a disability. It could have been due to illness, but yeah, I don't know. I definitely get disability energy where you're not worried about their health necessarily getting worse, but you're trying to figure out how to help them move forward in their life with their new reality. That's the concern I feel for you, for them. So, in case you didn't get any confirmations here right away, there's definitely a thing here about spending time with family. So if you have like a larger family, say, assuming this is a child of yours, maybe you spend time with cousins or grandparents or aunts and uncles. Honestly, anyone, like whatever this loved one is to you, whoever I should say this loved one is to you, there's definitely a call to be surrounded by more family. I think it'll just be a really good support system. And always, it's so hard to be one supporting person, right? It's exhausting on you, but it's also hard for this loved one to only have one person to really rely on as that source of love. So if you've been thinking about moving, closer to family, I would say this is a confirmation of that. And then also the moving on and letting go and the travel and change in locations. I think this is also just an affirmation around that. I think just from the energy I'm getting is that you have family members that live in a different city or country even. And it's really just calling on you, if you felt drawn to this, to make the move and go there and start fresh, start new. And I think that's really important because of the memories or the painful memories associated with where you're living right now. I think for you, but also for this loved one, I think something about where they're staying, I just get the energy of they need a fresh start. They need to be around family. They need to kind of like not have what happened to them be so in their face. So if it was an accident that happened in, say, their home, I think that could be why the energy is feeling pretty strong on moving locations. And then this confusion, many choices, and uncertainty card. Yeah, I really get this is just the guides coming through and saying like you're just really in a time where there's just some healing and some time that needs to pass to really know if the future where it's headed. Because right now I actually do feel like this loved one's in a deciding period. They don't actually know what they want to do, where they want to go, like they don't know. They need some time to just decide on a soul level, on themselves, on this planet level, what they want to do, what they want out of life now, and what that will look like. And it just is just times, like it really is just saying maybe it needs time to like figure things out, figure out who this new identity is of them, and grieving the person they thought they were going to be. So that's also why I get the feeling this is a disability, because I feel like there's like this need to mourn the things they used to be able to do that now they won't be able to do, and just this needing time to accept their new reality and what that looks like to them. Sorry about that. My camera battery died. Classic. Okay. Let's try and think of where I was going next with all of this. So, just as a little side note here, this is how I see the person inquiring to this power right now. Like, your internal spirit, your higher self, sacred intuition. I feel like you've been pretty on point with having to know how to take care of this loved one. I see you as like being very guided, very connected to not only your guides, but this loved one's guides on what's best for them. And you've really been amazing about hearing that despite your own emotional pain or emotional struggles or doubts, and you've really been able to hear that guidance on what's best for everyone in the situation. So that's really amazing that you've been able to do that. This practice compassion, see things from a fresh perspective, and speak the language of love. Loving words have the power to change lives, including your own. So I kind of saw these cards when I was playing them as advice on how to show and allow your loved one to feel loved and supported. I think these are actually applying a little bit to you as well, though, with the practice compassion. I think compassion for yourself and for the challenges of this situation and the role you're in with this loved one, and then also with the loved one themselves, who I think is probably going to be going through some lows and some highs. They're not going to always be their best version of themselves, and I think you already know that, but this I think is just coming through to remind you of it, that it's going to be a little bit of a trying time at the start, I believe. I think I can just see some like fits of just like frustration and anger from this loved one who's having a hard time accepting the new reality. I guess like little breakdowns might be another word you might use for them. And then I just really like that it's saying like the best way to support them is, to have compassion and understanding and not take it personally. If they have these breakdowns, it's not you, it's the situation, it's the new reality that they're facing. And just, speaking loving words and encouragement will be really important. It might not seem like it's having an effect, but I think like it is. It is getting in there. Loving words have the power to change lives. It really does say that. So for the prayer card and the seed, I really see this as like how you can be of service to this loved one is planting a seed of the possibilities for them. I think they really might need um, that sort of support where I was saying if this is a disability that's changed their physical abilities in life, I think your attitude, your influence on what they can do or what you believe they can do and see that they can do is like going to be what plants the seed. In the prayer card, I just see this about I just see this as being a reminder to have faith when times are tough. Like people always pray when they feel hopeless or like the worst is coming or there is like a sense of despair. So I really see these for cards that how you can like help the situation is by being humble and by being of service where you can and offering any guidance and optimism really. That's really how I see it, is offering optimism and having a vision, a possibility of a successful and happy and joyous future for this loved one. I hope that is making sense. Like I just see that they're not in a place where they might see that, and I think you're in a place where you see how valuable they are still, how beautiful they are still, everything that they're still capable of. And I think that's the reminder they're going to need. And to not go about it in a way that makes them feel like they just need to get up and get out there and do it already. I don't think that's the energy of this pile, but just reminding them that they have so much value and there's so much they have to offer and so much they can do. And just being that strong foundation for them, that strong support. I don't know. I do think this is a child because I mean, a lot of times, like in the last pile, there was a lot coming up saying not to be, like, don't forget your own needs and not to take on too much responsibility all the time. But I feel like for this pile, you feel pretty balanced. It feels like you are in this role right now because this person is dependent on you, but you are still taking care of yourself. I also think that could be why you're going to go see family, because for you to do it on your own would be draining and a lot, but for you to do it with family members supporting you and supporting them, that will be a game changer on the amount of energy it takes and how much you can give, because you won't be drained. You'll have your own support system there as well. Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to ask if there's any more messages because I know that this reading isn't that long yet, but I think they're being pretty simple and sweet about it. They're saying like you have a lot of really good intuition about it. To trust it, don't question it. Like I really was saying, I see this as you, like you're really on sync with what's in the highest good of yourself and of this loved one, and you're pretty good at wanting to act on it and taking action steps. But I do feel like this is like a big thing to move, countries, cities, towns, homes. But I do feel like you are feeling the call towards it as well. So hopefully that just helps bring some validation for you, some confirmation. Sorry, was the word I was looking for. To just trust what you're feeling is right for you and your loved ones. So I'm sorry, that's all I have to offer you, but best of luck, if you're moving. I wish you well. I hope you get near your family and your support system so that you too are well supported and you're in a better energetic space for your loved one that you're also trying to support. Just best of luck.